Well, hi, third graders, GES students. I'm missing you. I'm hoping you're doing well. Today, we're going to do a lesson, and it's not a lesson from our Too Good for Drugs program. I have picked a different topic for you today. We are going to do a lesson on empathy. Now, I know next to me, you're probably sitting here going, why do you have some shoe boxes here, Mrs. Thatcher? You're going to find out really soon why these shoe boxes are here. It's going to help us understand and develop kind of a better understanding for what empathy is. So first of all, I want you to think about that word empathy. Think about, what does that word mean? So come up with your own idea in your mind. What do you think empathy means? Now, the best way to describe what empathy is to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Well, that's why I have these shoe boxes here. We're going to practice trying empathy today. Oftentimes, when we show empathy to others, we can feel like somebody's caring for us. Right? When somebody's caring for us, they help us with things. They might check in with us and ask how we're feeling. And when we do know people care for us, it makes us feel happy and content and more of the green zone. So remember, we have the 4 color zones. Green zone is actually the best zone for learning because we're calm and focused and ready to learn. But there's also other zones like yellow zone, red zone, and blue zone. When we understand how we feel, it kind of helps us figure out what zone we're in, and then we can figure out how to manage our feelings and use some tools and strategies to help us manage our feelings. So now back to empathy. I described empathy as the ability to put yourself in another person's shoes. Well, I have some shoe boxes here, and in these shoe boxes are some shoes. So I'm going to open up each box, and I'm going to read about the situation of the person who's wearing those shoes. Now, while I read the situation of the person who's wearing those shoes, I want you to think for a moment, how would you feel if you were in those shoes? What would you want to do? Okay, and what color zone would you be in? Okay, so the first pair of shoes we're going to take a look at look like these. So we're going to say that these are some soccer shoes. We're going to say that these belong to somebody who was playing soccer. Now let me tell you the situation of what happened to the person wearing these shoes. The person who brought these soccer shoes was so excited, which is yellow zone feeling, to learn how to play soccer. They had been looking forward to joining the team for so many months, and they couldn't wait till spring arrived when they can play soccer. Well, after the first week of playing soccer, he got to play in his very first game. Well, at the end of the game, another player said to him, "Why are you playing soccer? You are not good at it, and we don't want you on the team." So pause and think. How do you think he feels after hearing those words? What would you do if you were in that situation and you heard somebody say those words to you? Some of the feelings you might have are sad, which is a blue zone feeling, maybe mad, red zone feeling, embarrassed, or worried, that they don't want you on the team, which are yellow zone feelings. So pause and think for a moment about how you would feel. All right, we're going to listen to another situation. Take a look in the next box. You can kind of use a guess and guess what do you think is going to be in there. All right, you're going to see in just a moment. So this box has a pair of slippers. So early one morning, a mom gets up and she gets ready for her day. While she's in the morning getting up her children, getting herself ready, and the whole family's getting ready for their day, she realizes that some of her children woke up and they're not feeling well and they have a low fever. So how do you think the mom might feel at the moment? Imagine being in the mom's shoes. How would you feel if you were walking in these slippers? If you were the mom and your children weren't feeling well. Okay, maybe the mom is worried, maybe the mom is sad. So think about, yellow zone, green zone, blue zone feelings. How is the mom feeling when she wakes up and realizes her children aren't feeling well? So while you're practicing imagining what it would be like to be her, you're showing empathy. Okay, here's another story. Bet you're just waiting to see what's in this last shoebox. All right, tennis shoes. So, a pair of tennis shoes. Let me tell you about the person who's wearing these tennis shoes. A boy goes outside to recess and wants to join some students who are playing basketball. He has been watching this group of students play and has been working up the courage to go over and join them to play. When he goes over to start playing with them, one of the children says to him, "You aren't invited. Go play somewhere else." How do you think he feels? This person has worked up the courage to ask if they can play with somebody else. They were being brave. It takes time. It might even take days before you work up the courage and the idea of what you want to say. And he goes over and somebody tells him he's not invited. Imagine being in these shoes, being told that you're not invited to play. How are you feeling? What would you do? Maybe feeling sad, blue zone. Maybe feeling angry, red zone. Just feeling lonely. Lonely is a blue zone feeling too. So pause for a minute and think, why does it matter to think about how another person feels? Why should we practice empathy? Why should we imagine what it's like to walk in another person's shoes? I want you to think about a time where maybe you practiced empathy. Maybe you imagined what it was like to be another person, or what it would be like to live their life, to do the daily things that they do. That is when you're practicing empathy. And think about how important it is to practice empathy. Not only are we thinking about how another person feels, but we can also maybe help them and show we care for them. We talked about how caring for others leads us to feel content and happy, helps us feel secure, and all of those are green zone feelings. Okay, so it's really important to try and imagine what it's like to be in another person's shoes. So when you have some time, I want you to practice while you're at home. Practice, even if you're reading a book or watching a show, imagine what it would be like to be that character. What would it be like to be the people in those shows, to be the people in the story? Practice putting yourself in their shoes. How would you be feeling? What color zone are you in? And continue to think about why empathy is such an important thing to practice. Why empathy is something that is just something to continue in our daily thoughts and our daily practice of being a good PAX leader and helping others. All right, GES third graders, I'm so proud of you. I'm sure you are working so hard at home, and continue to ask that you be amazing PAX leaders in everything that you do, that I know you are. Practice, being good listeners for your parents at home. Practice showing endurance and resilience that I know you have been. I'm going to continue to drop in your Schoology conferences and visit you with your teachers. It's been great seeing you that way. I'm going to continue to do more stories for you too. So look for more things in this place where you found this video, in Schoology and the Family Resource Hub. All right, take care, friends.